Good morning, children. I hope you all are preparing for your term 1 exams. So, today let's revise History, Chapter 2 and Chapter 5. Chapter 2 from hunting, gathering to growing food, and Chapter 5 Kingdoms, Kings, and an Early Republic. People who lived in the subcontinent were hunters and gatherers. They used to move from one place to another in search of food. But around 2000 years ago, there was a major change in the climate of the world. And because of that, wheat, rice, barley, oats were grasses that grew naturally in the wild. Man realized he could eat the grain. People in different parts of the world began growing crops about the same time. Historians call this change the farming revolution. People also started taming animals, and the first animal which they domesticated was dog, and they tamed other animals also like sheep, goats, and cows, which were gentle and small. Many stone tools have been found from many sites different from the Paleolithic sites, and they were now called Neolithic tools. These include tools that were polished to give a fine edge, and mortars and petals were also found. As you can see, children, these were the different tools which were made by the early men. Archaeologists have also found stone tools at different sites that may have been used for cutting, polishing, and grinding grain. One such tools which are very much a part of Indian kitchen is mortar and pestle. As you can see in the picture. There were many earthen pots were found too, and some of the pots were well decorated. This they must have used to keep their grains and many other things. Now in the map you can see the children different sites were discovered by the archaeologist. One such site was Mehergarh and the other one was Burzum. In an archaeologist have found number of things from these sites. One such thing was the pot which have been made by those people. Another thing which they found was the rectangular or the square houses at Mehergarh. Each house had four or more compartments, some of which may have been used for storing things. And in Burzum, people made pit houses which were dug into the ground with steps leading into them. Several burial sites have been discovered at Mehergarh. The dead person was buried with goats and many other things which meant to serve as food in the next world, as you can see in the picture. And I hope it is clear to you all. Now let's move on to chapter 5, Kingdoms, Kings and an Early Republic. We will recap how some men became rulers: Janpads, Mahajanpads, Magadha, and Vajji. So, in order to become a king or a ruler, a person had to perform a yag. There were many rituals which were performed at that time. One such ritual was the Ashwamedha Yagya. This was performed by the person who had to become a king. So, for that, a white color horse was taken for that purpose, and he was let loose to wander in the kingdom. And if any person tries to stop that horse, that person had to have a fight with that owner of the horse. And if he allowed the horse to pass from his kingdom, that, which shows that he is ready to accept that person as his king. And after that, number of rituals were performed by the priest in which the person to be the king and his family was there, and different and many guests were also invited for that ritual. Priests used to sprinkle sacred water on the king and used to recite various hymns. After becoming a king, the person started capturing different territories which were called Janpad. Janpad means the place where people set their foot or settle down. So the person who had become a king started capturing those Janpads. And after some time, these smaller Janpads now became a big Janpad or a Mahajanpad. Mahajanpads became stronger, bigger, and more important than others, and they were called Mahajanpads. Maha means huge, huge kingdoms. As you can see in the map, there were 16 Mahajanpads in all, like Kosala, Panchala, Vatsa, Magadha, Gandhara, and many more. The Mahajanpads were bigger kingdoms. They each had a capital city. They had huge, tall walls around the kingdom. They also built forts for protection. There were two major changes in agriculture at this time. The first was the use of iron plowshares for better turning of soil, and secondly, transplantation of paddy for increased production. Farmers used iron plows to turn soil that helped them get better yield on their farm. Iron plowshares were heavy and transplantation needs constant bending. Landless labor and slaves were gathered to get this work done. At this time, iron was discovered. Out of all the Mahajanpads, the strongest one was Magadha. As you can see, it was roughly in the region of Bihar and West Bengal. Magda became the most powerful Mahajanpad. Rivers like the Ganga and Son flowed through it, which provided water, improved transport, and helped make the land fertile. The place had animals like elephants, wood for building houses, and there were some iron ore mines in the region as well, which helped in making tools and weapons. Vajji. Vajji, with its capital at Vaishali, was under a different form of government known as Gana or Sangha. Sometimes there were even thousands of men ruled together, and each one was known as a Raja in a Gana or Sangha. These Rajas performed rituals together. They also met in assemblies and decided what had to be done and how through discussion and debate. However, women dasas and kammakaras could not participate in these assemblies. Both the Buddha and Mahavira belong to Ganas or Sanghas. Some of the most vivid descriptions of life in the Sanghas can be found in Buddhist books. Children, I have provided worksheets of history. What you all have to do is solve both the worksheets in your copy, and we will discuss it in the online class. So, children, prepare well for your exam. Thank you and have a nice day.